The game never stops, and neither do we. Welcome to the SDH Network. We're always around the corner from everywhere. Morning Espresso, brought to you as always by Oglethorpe University, Atlanta's premier undergraduate learning experience and soccer powerhouse. Got a lot of stuff to get into today. Kind of a wide-ranging morning Espresso for Thursday, February 5th. Let's start in Concacaf. The Champions Cup rolls on. Cruz Azul and Monterrey, they opened their journeys in 2026 last night, and one was easier than the other. Cruz Azul looked great. Big win over Vancouver FC, which is not a surprise, up in Langley. Vancouver FC from the Canadian Premier League, a surprise to get here, so not a shock that Cruz Azul handled things pretty well. 3-0, Jose Paradela opened the scoring. Amari Morales added another before halftime. Agustin Palavecino finished the job. Cruz Azul dominant the whole way through. For Vancouver, it's still a milestone moment. It's their first appearance on the continental stage, but the gap was pretty clear. Meanwhile, Monterrey, they were pushed hard in Guatemala. They came away with a 1-1 draw against Gelaju. The home side took the lead through Joffre Escobar and carried that energy deep into the night. Crowd was roaring in Guatemala for this one. But Monterrey, they eventually found the lifeline late through Tecatito Corona, a goal that gives Monterrey, I think, comfort going back home to Mexico. I mean, it's going to be a huge task for Gelaju to show that they can go and not just compete and be tough to break down in Mexico, but to go and win. That's usually where these kinds of ties turn, is when the underdog goes on the road in the second leg. It's usually a big ask if it's level, like Monterrey getting that goal. If you have the lead and you go in, you have a different level, I think, of, I don't know, just momentum. You can go in and be more defensive, things like that. It makes it a little easier for you, and you got to play straight up. You don't have the same level of talent, especially Gelaju versus a Monterrey. So Rayados should be fine. Cruz Azul, they can cruise. Big starts for the Mexican Grandes last night in CONCACAF. Let's go to South America. CONMEBOL, they have introduced a new rule this season in both the Copa Libertadores and the Copa Sudamericana. Every match in the competitions will now include a mandatory hydration break, similar to what we're going to see in the World Cup this summer. Once in each half, it lasts up to 90 seconds, not 3 minutes like the World Cup one. But it's not tied to heat or weather conditions or any of that. It's just, this is what's going to happen in every single match. It's written into the competition protocols for 2026. Now, this is also, with this applying uniformly, there's some different rules to it. Players will remain on the field. They can go to near their technical areas when they rehydrate. CONMEBOL is also going to open the door for broadcasters to bring cameras and microphones closer during these pauses to capture real-time interaction between players and coaches. So I like that CONMEBOL is being proactive here. I think this is going to become the norm. I think when we get 5 years down the road, this is just what we will see in every league around the world, no matter the weather conditions. And it opens that door as well for an even better experience for the people watching from home. If you use this, look, one of two ways. I mean, you can say you don't like the experience of having a commercial break at home, but these things have to get paid for. And with the prices going up and all of us wanting to see, our club, our league, bring in the best players, well, it takes money. You sell more commercials, you're going to be able to bring in more money. That's one thing. The other is giving you this kind of behind-the-scenes access a little bit of these moments, which can be really cool if it's handled right. I'm intrigued to see where this goes, but I do think that this is going to be the new norm going forward. Cristiano Ronaldo, let's go to Saudi Arabia. This has been weird. I've kind of been a little reluctant to dig into it because I haven't really I haven't really known where it's going to go. So when he made the move to Saudi Arabia, it delivered exactly what that league wanted in terms of global attention. Now, the football side hasn't matched the hype. He's scored a ton of goals. Al Nassr has scored a ton of goals as a team, but they haven't won a league title. That gap is starting to matter more as Ronaldo nears the end of his career. This week, the tension surfaced publicly when Ronaldo missed Al Nassr's win over Al Riyadh, not through injury, but it seems like it's a protest tied to frustration with the club's winter transfer business and maybe bigger picture with the PIF and their running of multiple clubs and who gets what money and all that sort of stuff. The title race is really tight. Everybody else around them is getting players, and Ronaldo believes that the moment is there for Al Nassr to have gone to go get players. His contract runs through 27, but reportedly it includes a £44 million release clause that could be activated this summer. I have no idea who would pay that. That is one thing. He is, he's up there in age. Are you going to pay $44 million for him? He didn't come to Saudi Arabia just to be a symbol, although that was a big part of it. He didn't come just for a paycheck, although that was a huge part of it. This shows maybe he came to win, and not getting that league title would be a pretty big blank space. Maybe there's a little extra pressure with his eternal rival Lionel Messi getting a league title with Miami last season. I don't know. It's a weird situation. I don't really know how it resolves itself. So let's just wait and see what happens with Cristiano Ronaldo, Al Nassr, the Saudi Pro League. Let's come back to CONCACAF, the U17s. The Concacaf World Cup Concacaf Championship and the World Cup qualifying tournament, which is all wrapped into one. That starts today for the U.S. They will play in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and they'll play the hosts 6 o'clock. Watch on FS2. The format is pretty unforgiving. Only the group winners advance, so there's no margin for error from the opening whistle. Alex Aldaz is the manager for the U.S. U17 squad. He's named a 21-player roster. One of those names for Atlanta fans to keep an eye on is goalkeeper James Donaldson. He's under a pro contract with Atlanta United too, future homegrown for the first team. He's earned his place in this group at the start of a big cycle. The U.S. will continue group play against St. Kitts and Nevis and the Dominican Republic. The groups are stacked for the seeds to win and then go into knockout rounds. So, yeah, only the group winners go through, but that is a group the U.S. should go through. Now they have to take care of business. It starts today, 6 o'clock. You can watch on FS2, U.S. U17s in CONCACAF action. Let's come back to the domestic focus. We'll stay in this area a little bit with CONCACAF and a little bit with CONMEBOL. According to reports, and these reports pop up every couple of years, CONMEBOL is preparing plans to invite MLS and Liga MX clubs into the Copa Libertadores starting in 2027. Spots split between direct invitation and sporting merit. Look, the goal is clear. They want to expand TV and sponsorship value in the U.S. and Mexico. We've seen this with the Copa America, for example. Liga MX teams participated in the tournament in the past, 3 times got to a final. But you had scheduling strain, you had competitive friction, you had a lot of political drama, and that ended. Now, CONCACAF is not going to want the CONMEBOL competitions to take precedent over the CONCACAF competitions. Which ones will get you into the Club World Cup? Those kinds of things. There's stuff that's got to get sorted out here, and that's why I'm not sure this will happen. I would love for something like this to happen. If CONCACAF and CONMEBOL could get on the same page to have a hemisphere competition, it would be amazing. The chance for an Atlanta United to play Boca Juniors or to play River Plate or to play, Atlético Nacional or to go to Sao Paulo, like these kinds of things, just epic, absolutely epic. Can it get done? I'm skeptical. We'll see. In MLS, Nashville SC, they have signed Andy Nassr to a contract extension through 2026, option for 2027. Key contributor last season, even in his 30s now, Nassr was an all-star. He helped deliver Nashville's first trophy with the U.S. Open Cup. Don't forget, it's a busy morning on the SDH network. John Nelson hosting SDH AM starting at 9:05. The Power Hour begins at 10. South American football expert Nino Torres, he joins the conversation. Then at 10:30, it's Pulso Sports' Nico Moreno from Seattle. All over the hemisphere, all over the world, that's where Nino and Nico and John will take you in the 10 o'clock hour. Make sure you go to soccerdownhere.net as well. Check out the feature from John's interview with new Kelty Hearts owner Jordan Gardner, somebody that you have maybe heard of in the American investment in European club space. He had some great takes on how you do this the right way and make it sustainable and have a plan and not just buy a team and hope you're buying a lottery ticket for a team to get promoted. Actually go in and have a plan. It was a great conversation. You can listen to it in the piece as well. The link to the podcast is there, but go check it out over at soccerdownhere.net. Myself and Madison Cruz, we will be at Atlanta United training today. We're going to sit down afterwards with Ronald Hernandez and Adrian Gill. Plenty of content from those conversations coming soon on the network. Let's go into the refill. Some news from around the world. Manchester City, they booked their place at Wembley with a dominant 5-1 aggregate win over Newcastle. Carabao Cup final against Arsenal on March 22nd. Stuttgart, they reached the German Cup semifinals. 3-0 win over Holstein Kiel. Stuttgart will continue their defense of the trophy. Inter in Italy, they moved into the Coppa Italia semifinals. They defeated Torino 2-1. They chase a 10th domestic cup title. Endrick, he has stayed red hot in France. He scored again as Lyon advanced in the French Cup, the Coupe de France. 5 goals in 5 games for the 19-year-old Brazilian who could not get on the field at Real Madrid. In Spain, Athletic Club Bilbao, they reached the Copa del Rey semifinals. A dramatic 96th minute winner from Iñaki Williams. Real Sociedad also moved through after a wild comeback win over Alaves. Go to Argentina and their cup, Platense. They advanced with a gritty 1-0 win. Los Calamar, the Squid. Victor Cuesta, the teenager, late header to put them through into the next round. And we'll stay with an Argentine, Mauro Icardi, who's always a source of entertainment on soccer over there. Got to give him his flowers. He set a historic mark at Galatasaray. He has become the club's all-time leading foreign goal scorer, surpassing the Romanian legend, Georgi Hagi. Mauro Icardi's out of contract in the summer. Nothing's happened yet. We'll see what happens with him because he is still scoring goals into his 30s, and somebody's going to pay him some cash to score some goals for them. Final whistle. It's been a steady start to 2026. The Grandes from Mexico doing pretty much what they needed to do in the first legs of Concacaf Champions Cup. Cruz Azul, Monterrey, they got the job done. We stay in CONCACAF and we go to the U17s. They start the World Cup qualifying campaign. We'll all be watching James Donaldson, rooting him on as they try to book a place in the World Cup later this year. And tonight, after the Hawks finish up their game, I'll be on the intersection on 92.9 The Game with Noel White, Miles Williams. Yes, we'll be talking some soccer, but we'll also be talking probably some takes on what's been going on up in Flowery Branch with the Falcons. We might have some takes on the Hawks. I think we're going to have some takes on the Grammys because the intersection goes from soccer to the WNBA to basketball to football, little sprinkling of baseball, little sprinkling of whatever else is on our mind in sports. But then, yeah, we'll get into music pretty hard as well. I'm sure that's going to be part of the random music question of the second segment. So just stay tuned. We'll be live about 10:30, and we'll take you up to midnight on 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app. More Morning Espresso tomorrow. Have a great Thursday, y'all.